Every nation tells itself a story. In every story, you need a villain. In America, villains aren't just hated, they're essential. They give shape to chaos, they give comfort to fear, they turn complex problems into simple faces. It's how America hides from the truth. Instead of fixing systems, it hunts symbols. Instead of addressing corruption, it attacks characters. That's why every decade we get a new bad guy, a new problem, a new face of evil. But the real question is, why does America even need this ritual? Why can't this country function without someone to condemn? And today we're here to break that down on Just Say Anything TV. See y'all soon.
You're not just saying that?
I never just say anything.
America was born from a paradox, a nation claiming freedom, built on control. That contradiction needed a narrative to survive. So we invented the myth of good versus evil. The founders called the British tyrant. The North called the South monsters. The South called abolitionists traitors. And as soon as one villain falls, another one rises from the ashes. Because moral clarity is easier than moral complexity, meaning that it's easier, and America thrived off this illusion of clarity, of having someone to hate. Even the early Puritans built their society around sin and punishment, God's chosen people battling the wicked world. That's not just religion, that's the original American brand. We went from the Salem witch trials to Twitter. America's favorite pastime isn't baseball, it's condemning people in public. In Salem, you didn't need evidence, you just needed a crowd. If you can get more than enough people to say the same thing, then everyone will start to believe it. The same logic applies now. Accusations equals guilt, and guilt equals content. Social media didn't invent mob justice, it just digitalized it, monetized it, and made it global. The quote-unquote villain of the week cycle gives people purpose. It gives media revenue, and it gives the illusion of progress, because every time someone is canceled or dragged on the internet, we get to feel more moral about ourselves without having to do anything moral. America doesn't understand nuance. It understands team. Everything is Democrat, Republican, left, right, police versus protesters, winners versus losers, heroes versus villains, right versus wrong. Even the word freedom is so like a sports jersey. You have to pick a side and wear it. You can't have any nuance on anything. That's why the idea of a villain is so comforting to most Americans. It turns chaos into order. It gives identity to anger. If you can't solve the system, you can at least blame someone. That's not justice, that's therapy disguised as politics. And these villains don't just entertain, it pays, and it's very lucrative. Every major news network, influencer, and political campaign relies on outrage as a business model. Scandal sells, outrage retains attention, and morality is the cheapest form of marketing. That's how I believe Donald Trump even won. He got shot at, quote unquote shot at, and once it was a big spectacle, people voted for him because they had something to fight for. They felt like the left did this to him. So now we have to rally up against each other and fight against these people. Every breaking news segment is a morality play. Every Twitter thread is a sermon. Every comment section is a confessional booth. And who profits? Not the public, not the so-called heroes. The corporations that control the information pipeline. They don't care who the villain is. They honestly sit back probably laughing at all the shit that we doing online. As long as you're watching the fire, they don't care who's in the fire. Politicians don't solve any problems. They sell enemies. That's how American politics works. Not through unity, but through fear. When leaders can't deliver solutions, they deliver scapegoats. The immigrants, the protesters, the media, the other side, the blacks, yeah, us too. Each enemy becomes a tool to distract the public from what's actually happening. Policies that serve donors, systems that protect the elites, and wars that never end. Both sides do it. No one's exempt from it. It's not left versus right. It's us getting fucked at the end. The only difference is the soundtrack. It's a different song. The left might play some smooth R&B while you're making love to you. Now, the right, They gonna play some NBA Youngboy while they screwing you. Sorry for being so graphic, but it's for real though. The American imagination is shaped by movies. A lot of Americans don't live in the real reality. They're not living in the real world. It seems like they're living one of the big episode of the Andy Griffith Show, where they look back in nostalgia of things and how it used to be in the golden era, things that really never existed. We've been trained to see life through the hero's lens. Every film teaches the same formula. One bad guy, one good guy, one final battle, and you know who's gonna win. So when something complex happens in real life, we look for the villain before we even look for the cause. Why the villain even exists? Why is he even here? Who made him? Who's backing this villain? We just want the story, not the system. That's why we simplify things like poverty, war, and crime into characters instead of structures, history, and economics. The real world doesn't work in 3 acts like a movie, but America keeps trying to edit it in that way. The media doesn't just reflect villain narratives, it engineers them. The formula is pretty simple. It's fear, then outrage, then engagement, then profit. News stories are written like movie scripts. Villain introduced. Moral panic escalates. Society reacts. Ad revenue spikes. And here's the trap. Once outrage becomes addictive, calm becomes boring. Now they're addicted to this chaos. Peace doesn't get clicks, outrage does. So the systems keep the population in a permanent state of emotional warfare. Exhausted, but entertained as well. That's not journalism, that's psychological warfare dressed as information. And now we're glutton for punishment. Blaming a villain is emotionally satisfying to a lot of people. It gives a lot of people a sense of control in an uncontrollable world. But the truth is, most of this so-called evil is just the logical outcome of systems that we ignore all the time. We blame corruption, but ignore campaign finance. We blame crime, but ignore poverty. We blame hate, but ignore education. The villain becomes a moral placeholder, a distraction from collective accountability. That's why America keeps producing them. Because to confront reality would mean rewriting the national story. And America loves its mythology more than its citizens. And you can't tell me anything else. And if you strip away all the faces, the true villain of America is actually structure. It's not one man or one ideology. It's the machinery that profits from division, the financial system that monetizes chaos, the political machine that thrives on crisis, the media ecosystem that survives on fear. That's the villain that never makes the headlines because it's its own headline. It's not even hiding. It's operating in plain sight, counting the clicks. Every time we point fingers at each other, you can't destroy a villain factory by finding a better hero. You can't destroy it by refusing to play the game, by seeing the cycle for what it is, a distraction from systemic change. The antidote to this outrage isn't silence, it's asking questions. It's asking who benefits from this and why are they showing me this right now? Does this even make sense? Once you start asking these questions, the machine loses its power because outrage can't survive understanding. Curiosity is something that will kill the system. America doesn't destroy its villains, it just recycles them because facing the real evil means facing itself. And they know that their well-being and everything that they stand for will crumble soon as we start understanding what's going on. The villain is never just quote-unquote out there. It's in the greed, the fear, the silence, and the comfort of those who just look away and act like it don't even happen. Until we stop worshiping outrage, until we stop needing enemies to feel alive, America will always be at war with its own reflection. I'm Mitch from Just Say Anything TV, where we say what they want. Now, share this video, and let's make thinking go viral again. I'll see y'all next video. Y'all let me know how y'all think in the comments below. Y'all hold it down. See y'all next video. Peace.
Just say anything. Like, share, and subscribe.
You're not just saying that?
I never just say anything.